Hello, hello, everybody. Okay, we are going live. So exciting, you guys. Let me go ahead and get everybody in here. I see Monique and Jennifer and Teresa. Yay, I'm so glad you made it. Melanie, oh my goodness, I'm so glad to see you. Welcome, welcome. Lisbeth and Marcia. You guys, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year coming up just right around the corner. I don't know about you guys, but I swear we're losing track of days here. My husband makes a joke about it all the time. He's like, what day is it? Last night, he was like, we're watching football tonight. It's Saturday. I'm like, it's Thursday. I'm like, there's no way it's Saturday. It's Thursday night. And he's like, oh my God, I'm losing days. I'm like, yes, honey, it's going to be all right. Like, this is like the no man's zone of, I'm not sure what day it is because I'm off. But I really wanted to schedule this. I was trying to decide whether I wanted to schedule this training before the end of the year or in 2023. And I'm like, no, it's got to happen before we go into the end of the year, because I want you guys all set up for success from the energy that actually creates success as we move into 2023. So I'm super, super glad that you guys can all join me. If you are watching live on Facebook, please join us inside the Zoom room. If you haven't registered already, you can go ahead and register at the link inside the group. Grab your workbook. I will share the workbook here. Just share my screen. That way you can see it. And I will leave the recording up in the Facebook group just until December 31st. So if you weren't able to make it live and you're watching this replay, type in hashtag replay there. But if you need more time, go ahead and buy the replay. You can get it for $23. You can come back to it over and over and over again anytime you need to realign. This is the number one. This is 80% of your success, my friends. Aligning your energy on a daily basis and coming back to it over and over and over and over again is exactly what we do to build our muscle of abundance, build our muscle of positivity, build our energy, the energy that we want to be in order to create what it is that we want to desire, or whatever it is that we want to manifest and desire. It's not a one and done. That's why I call this a daily alignment practice. It's kind of like, if you were training for a marathon, you wouldn't just go out and run once and then think, okay, I know everything there is to do, and so I don't need to train anymore. We do. We need to train our brain because our brain is 75% wired to focus on the negative, or to focus on scarcity, or to focus on what's not here yet. Totally normal. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with your brain. It's actually doing what it's supposed to do. That is the part of our brain that wants to keep us safe, right? We don't need to get rid of it. As a matter of fact, we want to keep it. We just want to recognize when it's actually keeping us from moving in the direction that we want to go. And it will constantly tell us we're going to die. We're going to lose a sense of love. We're going to lose a sense of safety or belonging. Hey, Stephanie. Hi, Andy. I'm so glad you guys are here. Get some of my Activate Abundance ladies here. Our brain will constantly do that. And so if we're not on it, and if we're not reprogramming it, and if we're not aligning on a daily basis with what it is that we want to have, then we're actually creating from an old default system. We're actually creating from old programming that's been playing. We're always creating. Like, there's no way that we are not creating. It's just that we are either creating intentionally by focusing on abundance and focusing on desire and focusing on the feeling as if, or we're creating based on old programmings, looking at what it is that we don't have yet. So this is going to be a really, really fun training. Really glad that you guys are here. This is important. This is valuable. Make sure that you've got your workbook printed. If you don't have it printed, have a piece of paper or something that you can write this down with, because again, this is the game changer. This is 80% of success. Now, having said that, and I will say that I 100% firmly believe that the energy that you're in, will always trump strategy. That doesn't mean strategy is not important. That doesn't mean action isn't important. Strategy and implementing what I like to call tactics are important. We have to do that. We have to take action. But it's the energy that you are in, first and foremost, that is going to allow you to get results based on the actions that you're taking. Because if we are in the energy of force or scarcity or hustle, or I got to get a client because I got to pay the bills and it's not here yet. And all of this worry and all of this fear, we're trying to take action from an energy that can't create. It can only create what it is that we're focused on. And so if we're trying to take action from a place of force or hustle or scarcity, we will create more of that, right? So energy will always trump strategy. So we first get to align to the energy as the empowered six-figure coach or multiple six-figure coach, depending on what your desires are that you are. Can we all like get an agreement and give me a thumbs up, type in a yes, that you get to claim that right now, even if you don't see it in your bank account yet, even if you don't see the physical manifestation yet, it doesn't matter. We all get to claim it first. Claim it first. Let me go ahead and turn off my notifications up here. I'm getting some beeps coming in. Hang on. So that has to be our first come from. And the first place that we align to is that we are already empowered six-figure leaders, empowered six-figure coaches, empowered six-figure wellness entrepreneurs, empowered six-figure women or multiple six-figure women or empowered leaders or whatever it is that you want. It's already available for us. And in order for us to create it and actually see it in physical form, we have to actually claim it first. So we get to claim that. All right, I think I have given enough people who want to join us today an opportunity to pop in. So we're going to dive in. Let me share my screen with you. And for those of you that are here live with me, pop in the chat, let me know, where are you guys coming from? How are you? Like, is everybody like hanging out and being okay with all the snowstorms? And I'm in North Carolina, so we didn't get any snow. I miss the snow, actually. I love the snow. I'm just going to move I want to see what you guys are saying. We've got Tanya. Tanya's here. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, can everybody see the daily alignment practice workbook where it says your daily ritual for more abundance? Can everybody see that? Just give me like a thumbs up on my screen. Stephanie, okay, good. Awesome, awesome. Okay, perfect. Alrighty, alrighty. All right, so we're going to dive in. Okay, this is your action guide. This is what you're going to refer to over and over and over again. This is actually step one. And this is, since for those of you that are inside Activate Abundance, you might notice this. There's been a couple tweaks to it. You guys that are here, that are not yet inside of any of my programs, you're getting a treat because this is normally reserved only for my paying clients. This is normally only for people who are inside of the Activate Abundance Academy. And I just wanted to share it. I felt generous and I felt like, you know what, more people need this information. So I'm going to go through first kind of like what are the basics, the foundations from our come from in creating a daily alignment practice. And I just mentioned it first, and that is your energy is more important than your strategy. Doesn't mean that strategy is not important. I absolutely teach strategy. As a matter of fact, the way that I help my clients create six-figure or multiple six-figure businesses is with the Soulful Abundance System. And that is a six-step strategy to help you attract clients, build relationships with people, nurture them, and invite people to work with them in a way that feels really good and natural and aligned and heart-centered. So strategy is important, but the energy is important. There's lots of effective strategies out there. I'm sure that you could Google marketing strategies for coaches and find probably hundreds out there. But strategy means that what comes first is who we are being, who we are being. And so every single darn day, I ask myself, Chris, what is the energy that you're in right now? Who are you being right now? What is the energy that you're in? What are the thoughts that I'm thinking? And I intentionally, if I'm not thinking it already, I intentionally ask myself, Chris, how can you give more value today? How can you serve more women today? How can you serve more people today? Because that is who I want to be. As an empowered six-figure coach, actually, you get to do this, but for me, as a multiple six-figure coach, that actually allowed me to get out of the striving and the hustle and instead do what is a powerful creation, and that is value. How are you giving? How are you showing up in the world? What is the energy that you're in? Are you in the energy of getting, or are you in the energy of giving? Are you in the energy of getting, or are you in the energy of giving? Because if you're in the energy of getting, that means that you're trying to get something that's over there that you don't have yet, and that's scarcity. If you're in the energy of giving, you already have value. You already have something that you can share. Okay, So you get to first ask yourself, what is the energy that I'm in? Second thing is, what is the feeling that goes with that energy that allows you to create, right? So again, we're bringing together two pieces. And those of you that are familiar with the law of attraction, or that are familiar with the quantum field, or familiar with manifestation, some of this might sound familiar, but I have my own spin on it. And so hopefully whatever it is that I share with you today will make even more sense and land even more. Because it's not just the thoughts, it's actually the feelings that attract to us. Our thoughts actually go out into the world. Our feelings are what attracts to us. So we want to not only choose the thoughts, what energy am I in, and ask myself, what is the energy that I'm in today? How can I give more value? But also I'm going to ask myself, what is the feeling? What is my home base feeling that allows me to create? What is the feeling that brings me joy? What is the feeling when I am delivering value like this? It feels spacious. It feels expansive. It feels good. Because I know that my intention here is to give and to help make an impact in the world. Okay. The getting, or the having rather, it becomes a side effect of the value that you give. It becomes a side effect of the feeling that you have when you're sharing and when you're serving. So when we're creating with a feeling of being lit up and joyful, bringing to the world, then that is actually magnetizing, it's aligning, it's drawing, it's allowing us to resonate with the person who wants the same. There's something called harmonic resonance, and that is an example of this. Say I had a guitar, two guitars, and I strummed the G chord on one guitar. The G chord in the other guitar would vibrate, even if I didn't touch it. Okay, that's what happens when we are in the feeling mode. Whatever feeling we're in is what we're drawing to us. So attraction, if we want to attract more clients, or we want to attract the clients that we are most best able to help and serve, that comes from a feeling state. Okay, now the next piece is declarations and inspired action. So I told you that we definitely need to take inspired actions, right? So that comes next from, what are we declaring? And what is the inspired action that's going to help us get there? So once we are in the feeling state of creation and abundance, then we get to reach out and begin to take aligned action. And notice that it's aligned action. It's inspired action. It's action from the energy of joyfulness, of feeling like you're giving value. Okay, so the positive energy that you put out and the seeds that you begin to plant by taking this action is what is going to help fill your client roster. So for example, if we were talking about declaration, and a declaration is just kind of speaking what it is that we would like to receive in the physical. So for example, say you're calling in 3 new one-on-one clients in the next 30 days. Awesome. That's a declaration. I am declaring that I would like to serve 3 new one-on-one clients in the next 30 days. Beautiful. That's a declaration. Now, what are the 1 to 3 inspired actions that are going to propel you forward? Okay, what are the 1 to 3 inspired actions that are going to propel you forward from the energy of giving, from the energy of value, from the energy of already feeling amazing and joyful, because you get to do this work, you get to change lives, you get to create impact in the world. Notice that those are thoughts that create feelings. Okay, and then we take action. This we get to put on repeat. I don't care where you are in your business. If you have 0 clients or if you have a full roster, you're going to do this work all the time. I still do this work every damn day. Every damn day, because it's a muscle that we have to work. It's like, if you don't exercise your muscles, you're going to lose the muscle tone, right? Awesome. How is this landing for you guys? Pop in the chat if this is landing for you. If you're here on Zoom, let me know what's landing for you here, so that I can see kind of how everybody is doing. And we have people from Colorado and Maine and Texas and Pennsylvania and Michigan. Holy cow. Yay. Awesome. Awesome. Yes. Franklin, Massachusetts. An East Coast girl, Stephanie. Stephanie says, yes, this is why I'm working with you this year. Amen, sister. Oh, it's so exciting. Jennifer's like, yep, making sense. Andy, doing it daily is the key. Yes. Doing it daily is the key. And look, we're not going to do it perfectly. So can we just also agree that perfection has no place here? We tend to beat ourselves up with perfection, right? And think, oh, I didn't do it right. Well, guess what? If you're doing it at all, you're doing it right. Okay. Now, what makes sense for me is how I've laid it out here for you. And so I just want to kind of reiterate, the way that creation happens is through thoughts, feelings, and actions, right? It's just that most of us, and I don't know if you guys were like me or not, but when I first started my business, I wanted somebody to tell me what to do. Like, just give me the action, give me the to-dos, tell me what to do and I'll do it, right? And again, actions are important, but actions need to come in step 3, not in step 1. Actions come in step 3, not in step 1. So thought patterns, and this is something that you might see out there in the world. It's very, very well known that, and it's been proven, scientifically proven, that the way that things are created is we have thoughts about a circumstance. Now, a circumstance is anything that's going on right now. And I want to also share that a circumstance will always be in a neutral energy because there has not been a meaning assigned to it yet. If somebody hit my car, that's a circumstance. It's a fact. Could I go and sit in a court of law and the judge say, Chris, did someone hit your car? And I said, yes, someone hit my car. That's a fact. Okay, so circumstances are facts. Circumstances are neutral. They don't have any thought or feeling attached to them, right? Now, then once I assign a thought to the circumstance, the thought about the circumstance, right? So someone hit my car. Great. What's the thought that I have about it? Shit, someone hit my car. It's going to cost a lot of money to get fixed, which then is going to lead to a feeling of, contraction or fear or whatever, which is then going to lead me to take an action, which will get a result. Okay. Now, the cool thing about thoughts is that thoughts are not facts and we get to choose them. So if I notice my brain thinking a thought that is not serving me, i.e. going into the direction of the result that I want to have, if I want to feel more peace and more calm, then chances are the thought of, shit, this is going to cost a lot of money. Now what I'm going to do, who was that dummy that hit my car, whatever it is, that's not going to serve me in creating more peaceful and calm, right? So thought might be, okay, wow, someone just hit my car. I could also choose to have the thought of, woohoo, I've been wanting a new car. Circumstance hasn't changed. The only thing that's changed is a thought, which then gives me a feeling. How do I feel when I'm thinking the thought of, oh, maybe it's time to get a new car? And then what is the action that I take from there, which then gives me the result? All right. So that's the way that things play out in our brain. And the cool thing is that you can do this from top to bottom or from bottom to the top. So if you want a result, say 3 one-on-one clients, right? Then we get to think about, okay, what is, if there's a circumstance of I have 3 one-on-one clients that are working with me right now, what is the thought that I might have about that? You might think, I am so darn excited that I get to serve these women. I am so excited that I get to do work that's meaningful to me. I am so excited that these women are trusting me to support them. And what an amazing job I have. And I actually get to get up every day and think about this and do that, right? Which is going to lead to having a feeling. And the feeling probably is warm and joyful and confident and lit up and excited, which is then going to lead you to take an action, which could be, I wonder who else I could serve. Let me reach out to a couple people that I know that are in my world that might really benefit from this. Okay, can you see how we're kind of reverse engineering it as well, which then gives you a result of more clients. Now, if you want 3 one-on-one clients, but the thought is, I don't know where to find clients, nobody's going to work with me, nobody's going to pay the rates that I have, I don't know what to do, I'm confused. All of those are just thoughts. They're not facts. They're just thoughts, but they're going to lead you to have a feeling. And chances are those feelings are going to be, I'm feeling doubtful. I'm not feeling confident. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling stress. I'm feeling struggle, which is going to lead to the action. Hi, Mr. Spouse or partner, which is going to lead to the action, which is going to be probably nothing, right? Like, if you're thinking, oh, nobody's going to want to work with me, then you're not going to reach out to anybody. Why would you reach out to anybody? Why would you start a conversation with somebody if you think that nobody wants it, right? And then the result is no more clients. The result is, see, I knew I couldn't do this. The result are more thoughts that come back to support a circumstance or the belief that was put out there. Okay, so thoughts are really, really powerful. And this is why they're 80% of our success. Our thoughts give us feelings that lead to the actions, inspired actions that we will take in order to have the result. Now, you could also say, hey, Chris, but I don't really know what to do. And I would say, is that really true? Is that really true that you don't know what to do? Chances are you know one thing, like you know, based on what it is that you've heard me say today, oh, I could just reach out to somebody and, you know, just kind of see how they are, or just start a conversation or have a connection, right? So the thoughts lead us to have feelings, lead us to have actions, lead us to have results. Now we get to get into bringing those two together, which is feelings and actions. Okay, so if you're still feeling like this sounds amazing, and it also sounds like a lot of theory, and it sounds like a lot of things that I've read in books, I get you. And let's take it into the practical how-to now. Okay, does that sound good? Can you give me a thumbs up? Comment in Facebook action if you're ready to move into some action steps. Yeah, awesome, awesome. All right, now this is a huge game changer, you guys. So if you do nothing else, please print this out, because this is going to give you both the energy and the actions with which you take. Now, I want you to think, we're going to start in the middle with abundance. And I want you all to think, just close your eyes for a moment. And I want you to remember a time when you were experiencing abundance in your life. Whatever that looked like. I want you to think about what was the feeling that you had when you were in the energy of abundance. This is what I like to call your home base energy. What is the feeling that you can remember? Go ahead and come off mute if you guys are here in live in Zoom with me, and share with me when you have experienced abundance in your life. What is the feeling that you can remember it felt like? And if you're on Facebook, go ahead and just pop in the chat the feeling. What does it feel like? What did it feel like on Christmas morning when somebody gave you a gift?
It's exciting.
Yeah. Exciting.
Light.
Light. Yeah. What else when you're in the energy of abundance?
Unstoppable.
I didn't hear you, Steph. Sorry.
Unstoppable.
Unstoppable. Yeah. Beautiful.
There's just a support, like it feels safe. Like there's like a confidence of being in a safe place.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Beautiful. Confidence, safety. Yeah. Beautiful. What about you, Melanie? What does it feel like for you when you're in the energy of abundance?
It just feels really empowering, and I feel strong and free, really.
Beautiful. Awesome. Awesome. So from that, you're going to write down on that line, that is the feeling. So maybe for today, and look, this can change every day. That's okay. But you're just going to ask, gosh, what would it feel like for me to be in the energy of abundance today? Strong, light, capable, unstoppable, confident, safe, whatever that is, you're going to put that on the line. Okay. And I want you to think about that is the energy that you want to return to over and over and over today. What thoughts can you think today that are going to allow you to have that feeling of lightness, of safety, of confidence, of being unstoppable? Now, here's the interesting thing. We are still going to have some of those negative things come in. But when those negative things come in, and when you feel in your body that jolt of adrenaline, or that feeling of contraction, or that experience of fear, anytime you get to say, oh, I'm out of alignment. Let me get back into the energy of abundance, which is light, which is free, which is unstoppable. What thought could I think? What memory could I focus on? What could I focus on right now that would give me that feeling? Okay, so the practical component of this is choosing a new thought when you notice one that's not serving you pop in. Okay, you're not going to catch them all. It's impossible. We have over 60, 70, 80,000 thoughts that are happening through our brain all the time. But your emotions are your emotional GPS system. And when you feel that zing, for me, it feels like a zing. It feels like something that just doesn't feel right. And instead of me going, oh God, what is that? I hate that. I don't like that. Or what was I thinking? Like what I tell myself is, oh, you just thought something that gave you that feeling. Doesn't matter what it is. Choose something new. Choose something different. What energy do you want to be in today, Chris? Choose a different thought. Okay. So we're not pink painting things. We're not saying that negativity isn't there. We're not saying, oh, everything is amazing anyways. Like if somebody hit my car, chances are I probably would be like, oh shit, now what am I going to do? Okay. Feel the feeling. Yep. And what thought is going to support me to be in the energy of abundance? Well, what if this is actually working out for me? That might actually be a better feeling thought that is going to have me feel back in the energy of spaciousness or lightness. Okay. So the first step is from abundance. Who are you being when you're in the energy of abundance? Okay. What is your state of being when you are authentically attracting your ready-ass client? So that's the next thing that we're going to go to. When you're in the energy of attraction, you're not chasing, right? You can't do both, right? You can't chase and attract at the same time. A magnet doesn't chase after the metal. A magnet just is authentically itself. So I want you to think about what state of being are you in? Who are you when you're in the attraction state? For me, I'm just me. I'm just confident. I'm just like giving value, like I am in service, whatever, like it changes on a daily basis. But I want you to ask yourself then, what is the energy of being that you're in when you're attracting? What does that feel like? It doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel hustly. It doesn't feel stressful. It doesn't feel like, oh, I don't know if they're going to say yes. It just feels peaceful. It feels calm. It feels confident. That is the attraction energy for me. So I know that my state of being when I'm in the attraction energy is calm and confident. Okay. So for you, I want you to write down, what is your attraction energy? When you naturally attract people, and you can even think back to a time when somebody just reached out to you out of the blue and you're like, oh, what energy was I in when that happened? I can guarantee that whatever energy that you were in was a higher vibrational energy, because that person wouldn't have reached out to you if you weren't. So that might be some state of joy. It might be some state of peace. It might be calm. It might be relaxation. It might be you were just out on a walk, enjoying and living your life and feeling amazing. Right? So let's use the example of calm confidence, the energy of calm confidence. Now, the next thing I'm going to ask myself is, okay, what would be one action I could take from the energy of calm confidence that would help me get in front and give more value to people in the world, that would help me attract my ideal client? Well, with calm confidence, what I know is that I would need to be visible. I would need to, one action that I could take is, maybe I'm going to do a Facebook Live today, or maybe I'm going to share a Facebook post, or maybe I'm going to be visible someplace in my local community, or maybe I'm going to reach out to somebody and ask them who they know that might benefit. Okay, so action steps. And here's the cool thing. When you ask yourself from the energy of attraction, when you're in calm confidence, the ideas that come to you are going to be very different than the ideas that come to you from the energy of, I got to go get a client. I got to go chase them down. I got to go get them right now, because if I don't get them right now, I'm a failure. Right? I mean, gosh, just saying that, I can feel my heart and my chest just starting to ugh. I can guarantee you that energy, if I'm in that energy, I'm going to want to go binge watch some Netflix. I can guarantee you that's the action I'm going to take. It's not going to be, to reach out to somebody with calm confidence to, or do a Facebook Live, right? You guys picking up what I'm putting down here? Give me a thumbs up and Zoom. Okay, great. So I want you to think about what is one action that you could take, just one, that is going to allow you to attract and be a little bit more visible to your ideal clients. Okay, and if you're watching the Facebook Live or the replay, I want you to pop down the energy that you're in when you're in abundance, the energy of what you feel like when you're attracting clients. So the example I'm using today is calm confidence. What is it for you? And what is one action step that you can take? Now, the next step is nurture. So another word for attract is that you might hear me refer to is building. So build, attract, build, connect, attract. These are all ways that we are actually using what I like to call relationship marketing. Okay, so marketing is not a bad word. Marketing is just a way that we share our message. I want to say that again. Marketing is only a way that we share our message. And if you're here, you're a heart-centered entrepreneur and you want to make an impact in the lives of people, and you want to do that in a way that feels really good and natural and aligned with who you are, and help make people your priority. So this is relationship-based. We're building relationships. We're cultivating connections and community, right? So the next step in that is nurture. Once we have somebody in our world, and what I like to call, I don't like to call it a pipeline. I don't like to call it a funnel because it just sounds so impersonal. I like to call it my ecosystem. Once somebody is in my ecosystem, whether or not they are listening to a Facebook Live, whether they have downloaded a freebie, whether they have commented on a post or said anything, they're in my ecosystem. And now I get to nurture that. I get to nurture that. Notice I haven't done anything to sell one thing. I haven't taken any action to try to sell anybody on anything. Nurturing means that you are the people that are in your community who are connections. And look, people who are in your community are past clients, current clients, anybody who's come into your world that's commented, anybody who's in a Facebook group, if you have a Facebook group, anybody who's in your war market, okay? What energy are you in when you're nurturing people? What energy are you in when you're nurturing people? I want you to think about that. For me, the word that I would use is generosity. When I'm nurturing relationships, I am in the energy of giving, which to me is another word for generosity.
I feel like that's where I'm at, but when I really think about when I'm doing that work and nurturing people, I feel like I said in the chat, I feel geeky. I feel excited. I just feel like a complete nerd, and I just want to. I just have energy. I just want to share it and and experience other people getting excited with me and bring them with me on being excited about the things that they're learning and implementing them.
Exactly. Exactly. So that energy, if we could put one word on it, would it be excitement? Would it be giddiness? Would it be
Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess excited. What's the word? Not anticipating, but just just it's an energy, but it's positive. I really think it's excited. It's like it's like when you're standing in line at an amusement park and you're going to go on a really cool, like a fun ride, not a scary ride.
Yeah.
But it's like you're like really looking forward to seeing something cool, or like but I just think of it that way. I think that's how I approach what I do in health and wellness, and
absolutely. Yeah. When you are nurturing somebody and you see somebody's eyes light up because they just got something or they're really excited, like that gives us a feeling in our heart, right? Like when I see that somebody has gotten a principal or they've reached out to me and gone, oh my God, I just got my first client, or holy shit, I just had my first 10K month, or whatever it is. Like I'm excited. I'm just like, oh, like it feels so expansive and spacious, right? So when we're nurturing people, we get to be in that energy. Right. And so then we also get to ask ourselves, okay, well, from the energy of, feeling giddy or excited or spacious, or what is one thing that I could do? What is one action step that I could take from that energy to nurture my connections, my community, or my clients? Just one simple action. Now, the actions are what I like to refer to as tactics. Okay, actions are tactics. There's a difference between strategy and tactics. Strategy is the bigger picture. Strategy is how do you take people from not being a client to ultimately being a buyer in a very heart-centered way. You're looking at both strategy and tactics right here. First step of the strategy is align your energy. The second step of your strategy is getting the energy of attracting, then nurturing, then inviting. And the tactics that you implement are going to be the action steps. I'm keeping this super duper duper simple here. If you only do this every day, if you only do one thing to attract an ideal client, one thing to nurture somebody, and the next step is going to be inviting, making an invitation, you will absolutely bring more income into your business. The strategy is building, nurturing, inviting, or attracting, nurturing, and inviting. The way that you attract, nurture, and invite people to work with you are multiple different types of tactics. Okay, so it's important that we are clear that we are building relationships. This is relationship marketing strategy, a heart-centered strategy designed to attract and build community, nurture that community. And then when it feels like it's the right time and someone is ready to take the next step with us, then we can invite them to take the next step. Now, I want you to think about your state of being when you're in the state of being of inviting. If you're inviting somebody to a party, are you trying to convince them or persuade them that they have to be to your party? Or are you just like, hey, I'm having a party. You want to come over? When you're in the energy of inviting, it's very, very different than being in the energy of getting. When you're making an invitation to somebody, you're not trying to overpower them. You're not trying to drag them across the finish line. That's not the invitation energy, right? An invitation energy is simple. It's like, hey, I just made these freshly baked chocolate chip cookies. Would you like one? And if somebody says no, you're not like, oh my gosh, what's wrong? Did I use the wrong chocolate? Like, do you not like me? Just like we don't go there with invitations, right? We only go there when we're in the energy of trying to convince or get or persuade. And look, we all go there, like we're human, but we just get to remind ourselves, again, I want you to write down on your sheet of paper, what energy am I in? What energy am I in? When somebody says, Chris, I'm having a hard time, enrolling clients. My first question is, what energy are you in? Let's talk about energy first, and then we'll talk about strategy. Because if we only talk about strategy or tactics, and we miss the energetic piece of, if you're in the getting energy, then the strategy is not going to work. The tactics aren't going to work. So we get to allow ourselves to be in the energy of invitations. So what does that feel like to you? When you're in the energy of just making an invitation, what does that feel like for you? Andy, are you still with us? Would love to hear. Or Jennifer, or Tessa, or Monique, or Marcia. When you're in the energy of just inviting somebody, what does that feel like to you?
It feels relaxed and
Yep.
also exciting. Just listening to you, I felt like that this excitement coming into my tummy.
Yeah.
But this is the hardest for me.
Yeah.
But I
Mhm.
want to be relaxed.
Yes. Okay,
Feel-
beautiful. Yes. Look, when we are attached to an outcome, we get in our own way, right? When we're relaxed, when we're calm, when we're peaceful, we're not attached to the outcome. We're not attached to somebody having to give us a yes, right? What ends up happening is we end up thinking, I have to get a yes. And if I don't get a yes, I'm doing it wrong or something's going on. Which means, again, that we're just in the wrong energy. We're in an energy that's not helping us get the results that we want. And the way that we shift our energy is with our thoughts. So again, when we notice that contraction energy, the worry energy, we just get to think a new thought that gives us a different feeling. What if instead of thinking, oh, this person's going to think I'm icky or salesy, or they're going to think that I just want something from them. You could think that thought, but that thought is going to have you, have a feeling of fear or doubt or contraction, which then is going to lead to the action of, yeah, I'm just not going to do that. Or, you know what, I'd rather fold laundry instead or do the dishes, right? Like all of the distractions. Let me just move some more papers around. Let me just work on my website instead. Let me do something else, right? Versus actually making the invitation. So we get to think a different thought. We just get to think, wow, but I wonder if this might serve them. What if I just get to let them decide? What if I don't have to convince or persuade anybody? What if this really is just, you know what? I have something that could help you. Would you like it? And if they want it, amazing. And if they don't want it, amazing. Like we're not attached to a yes. What we want to be attached to is the action, not the outcome. Does that make sense? We want to focus on the action that we're taking, not the outcome. So if I'm focused on inviting people to take the next step, because I know that what it is that I have is going to serve them really powerfully in some way, the energy that I'm in is relax, ease, flow, offering. I also might be in the energy of generosity because I know I've got something that's going to help. And I just get to take the action. That's it. I'm winning if I'm taking the action. It doesn't matter if I get a no. And if it doesn't matter if I get a no, then I just get to keep taking those actions and I get to help somebody figure out what it is that they do want. So if they're a no, that's actually okay. What if them being a no, and I just, realize that, oh, you know what? The reason why they're a no is because they really want somebody to build a website for them. And I can't help them with that. But I've got a great website designer that I would love to introduce her to. So let me help her get what it is that she actually wants. So when I'm in the energy of inviting, my intention is that they leave with value, regardless of whether they're a yes or a no. And how does that feel if you were to just release all the pressure that you put on yourself to get the yes, to get the money, to get the client, and instead just be in the energy of how can I help someone create a win, regardless of whether they're a yes or a no? How would that change things? How can I help them? Doesn't matter. If they're a yes for me, amazing. If they're not, that's okay too. Because chances are, just because she might not be a yes right now, doesn't mean that she might not be a yes later. Right, Stephanie? Last year, Stephanie was like, I'm not
I was
right
just
now.
thinking that. Yeah. I was like,
That's okay.
I have a roadmap and I'm like, but you're on it. Don't worry.
Yeah, totally fine. Right. And I wasn't like, oh my God, she doesn't like me. What am I doing wrong? I'm like, not a problem. She's got the support that she needs right now. Amazing. How else can I serve her? How else could I give her value? Is there something else that she might need in the meantime so that I can just be in her world, let her know that I care about her?
And you did all year. Like you didn't disappear. Frankly, I was like surprised. I'm like, oh my gosh, you remember who I am.
But see, that's fun for me, right? And we get to let this be fun and joyful. And that's what it means to build a heart-centered business. We really do get to make people our priority, right? And that feels so much better. And that is a very powerful energy of creation. Very powerful energy of creation, regardless whatever tactic you think you need to pull. All right. So I actually kind of went ahead here after the energy of intention or invite. You're going to choose one action to take from attracting or building your community, one action from inviting, from nurturing, and one action from inviting, right? So what would one action look like for you? One action, not 20, not 50, just one. Maybe you decide that the one action that you take is, you know what? I'm just going to reach out to people that come into my world today and say, hey, how are you? I hope you're having an amazing day. What if you just decide that you're going to reach out to 3 people because you have a new Facebook group that you've started? Or maybe you decide that you're going to reach out to 3 people and give them something. Or maybe you've got something already. And, you know, if the goal was 3 one-on-one clients, maybe you're like, you know what, who could I reach out to today and just invite them into, you know, an experience with me. Right? So we want to take the action. And this really is, like Andy said, you know, this is the place where most people get stopped. And it's because we are heart-centered, and it is because we are caring people, and we are caring women, and we want people to feel amazing. But the thoughts that stop us are that somehow our invitation is going to make somebody else feel uncomfortable. If you had a cure for cancer and somebody had cancer and they didn't know about the cure, would you feel uncomfortable about sharing it with them? No, because you're giving them value, right? So again, it's merely a thought. If you have a cure, if you have a solution to help somebody solve their problem, it's your obligation to let them know about it. It really is. It's your ethical and moral obligation. It's your responsibility to let people know that you've got a way out for them. Can I get an amen? Like, right? If we have something that can help somebody, and we're holding on to it because we're worried about how we might feel, that's actually pretty damn selfish. I'm feeling uncomfortable, and so I'm not going to let anybody else know about it, even though it might help them. Remember, the intention is service. The intention is not, I have to get a client from this invitation. Energy is very different. Inviting is simply, how could I help somebody get value? How could I help somebody along their pathway? How could I help somebody with the solution that they're looking for? And I want to share another thing before we go into the intention. When we are in the energy of invitations, and when we're in the energy of service and generosity, I want you to remember that the energy does not look like trying to convince or persuade somebody that you have something that they need. If we are in the energy of trying to convince or persuade somebody, they're not our client. For example, if you are in the world of hypnosis and you are trying to convince or persuade somebody on the value of hypnosis, that's not your client. Your ideal client is looking for what it is that you have. And this is another place that people get stuck here. I share this when I teach 6 steps to, or 6 figures made simple. And that is, there are 3 different types of people in our world. There are the people that are the sidewalkers that might be in our world, but they're just like, oh, that's fun, that's cute, that's neat, like, but they are not looking for the solution that you provide. They're not ready. Doesn't matter. They don't need your service because they're not looking for a solution. They just think that what it is that you shared or posted was really cool, but they're not looking for a solution. 30% of people in your world are there. They're sidewalkers. Okay. We also have 2 other people. We've got people that are in the slow lane and people that are in the fast lane. The people that are in the slow lane are people that are looking for a solution. They're like, I got to get this fixed because this is causing me angst. It's causing me pain. It's causing me unhappiness. It's causing me to miss out on playing with my grandkids or, going for walks or living an amazing, healthy life. Those are people that are searching for a solution. There are 67% of those people in your world. Those are the people that we're looking for to make invitations. Those are the people who are actively searching for a solution. There is no convincing or persuading that they need to do something about their pain. They're ready to do something about their pain. They're looking for a way out, right? And then the other 3% that's left are the people who are already in your ecosystem, who've been served and nurtured by you, and they're like, yep, I'm ready to go right now. So you can see that the attraction piece is to help us attract the people that are looking for a solution, not the sidewalkers. The nurture piece is then to nurture the people that are in our world and give them value, and then invite them when it feels like the natural next step. Now, we're not mind readers. We don't know when somebody is ready and somebody isn't ready. So we just get to keep inviting from a place of generosity and service. Okay, step 3, we get to then create an intention. We get to state that, and here's what I like to do. I like to take all of the energies from build, nurture, invite and put them together. I am calm, confident, and caring in the actions that I'm taking to build, nurture, invite, or attract, nurture, invite. So the abundance energy, right, was peace, spaciousness, being unstoppable, whatever it was for you. And then you want to link those other energies together. I am calm. I am confident. I am caring. That's the intention. Intention is energy and the actions that I take. So I am calm, confident, and caring. And we get to embrace that energy in everything that we do for the day. How can I be more calm, confident, and caring today? How can I embrace that energy, right? Everything that we put after I am is really, really powerful. So if I tell myself, and if I write that down and even put it on a card and say, I am calm, confident, and caring in the actions that I take today. Then before you take any of the actions, you're going to remind yourself of the energy that you choose to be in. Okay. And then again, you're just going to write down what you're calling in. We talked about that already. Like you're calling in 3 one-on-one clients in the next 30 days. Right. All right. There's a couple more steps that we want to do that make all the difference. And that is beliefs, thoughts. What are the beliefs that will allow you to believe that this goal is able to be fulfilled? What are the beliefs, the thoughts that you can think today that is going to allow you to believe that this goal of 3 one-on-one clients in the next 30 days is able to be fulfilled? And we want those thoughts to be emotionally charged thoughts. So one thought might be, there's an abundance of clients everywhere. Another one might be, I trust that the universe puts people in my path whenever I need it. Another thought might be, there are so many ways to serve people. So many ways. And again, these are mine. These are some of mine. What are some for you? I want you to think about that. Just take like 2 minutes and just think about what are some emotionally charged thoughts. I'm going to see if I've got my notebook here that I have mine down. Let me give you some more examples while you guys are thinking about that. Oh, here's a good one. There are so many people who want what I have to teach them, who are just right around the corner. They just need to be visible. It can happen so easy and quickly. There's so many ways that this could happen. Another one that I love is, you know what? I make money easy. It's just a natural part of who I am. I make money easy. It's just a natural part of who I am. Notice also the difference between those thoughts and the thoughts that play in our heads unchecked. Like, it's going to take a lot of work. I'm going to have to make a lot of sales calls. I have to build a larger list. It feels hard. I'm tired. It can happen with a lot of the right action. More money means more work. Those are beliefs that will ensure that we don't meet our goal. So we want to be clear about the beliefs. And look, these beliefs can change, but we really do want 3 to 5. We don't want 20. We want 3 to 5 that just feel really, really good. They're emotional because, again, we talked earlier that emotion, feeling is what attracts to us. We want to put the beliefs on repeat that have us in a high feeling state that feels good. Because if we feel good, what are we going to do? We're going to take action, and the actions are going to lead to results, right? Let's see if I can find some more for you. There are more people now that need my work than ever before. How does that feel when you say that? There are more people now that need my work than ever before. Here's another one. I am the magic. No one can do what I do in the way that I do it. Feel free to take any of these if they are like giving you a jolt of peace or excitement. There are infinite opportunities and ways to share my content, work less, make more money, and have more fun doing it. Infinite ways. And here's one of my favorites. I attract/resonate with an overflow of abundance, clients, and joy. How does that feel? That feels pretty darn good to me. I resonate with an overflow of abundance, clients, and joy. Now, imagine what would happen if you read those every morning and every night before you went to bed with whatever it was that you decided. How might you feel? How might that change for you? What might go different in your day and in your business just with these beliefs? So here's the interesting thing about beliefs. And those of you that are in the transformational coaching world know this. When we have a belief, our reticular activating system, our part of our brain, actually looks in the world for evidence to support our belief. I'm going to say that again. We have a part of our brain called the reticular activating system that looks for evidence in the world to support our beliefs. So if we say these beliefs on repeat, what we're doing is we're creating new neural pathways, and our brain is looking for evidence to support that belief. All of a sudden, we start seeing things in the world to support our beliefs. So we want to choose these beliefs very carefully, right? We want to know when we're thinking thoughts or when we are in the old programming, because if we're thinking, clients don't want to work with me, it's hard to find clients, nobody's investing right now, guess what you're going to see in the world? Your brain is going to look for evidence to show you that. Right? Woo, that's powerful stuff, you guys. So we get to put the beliefs on repeat that is going to support the evidence that we actually want to experience. Okay? Now, step 6 is from an already having it place. We call this Amazon energy, from an already having it place, right? What you feel when you have this outcome fulfilled. And you want to use as many descriptive words, because descriptive words are emotional words, right? What we're looking at doing is ways that we can bring it to life with feeling. So thoughts charged with feeling, put on repeat, is what is going to help you collapse the timeline to building your business. Okay. So I was actually sharing Amazon energy with my husband yesterday. We went on a 2-hour walk yesterday. It was so incredibly beautiful here. And I was talking to him about he was talking about using his brain and how he's using his body to actually push through so that he can actually run further and get better results. And I'm like, yeah, but you had to have a thought first. You didn't just like run to the next place. You had to think about it. So Amazon energy is being and in the energy of it's already happening, right? He just decided that he was going to be somebody who was going to just continue to run. And he saw himself as it was already finished. And I asked him, I'm like, so when you think about running, do you think about already being done, or do you think about, running in the process? He's like, oh, I think about how good it feels when I'm just done. I'm like, you're in Amazon energy, you're in done energy. So we want to think about, what does it feel like when you're in Amazon energy, when you're done energy? Okay. And then the last piece, or last two pieces here are, from that place of done energy, really write down the 3 actions that you commit to take by the end of the day. So you wrote them up at the top, but I want you to write down, what are you committing to? The energy of commitment is important. Just writing it down doesn't mean that it's going to happen. You want to make sure that you're committing to implement, right? There's a difference between I can do that, and there's a difference between I will do that. This is where you are committing to the 3 actions that you're going to take by the end of the day. What are those 3 actions? You could write those down. And then you get to be in gratitude. Why? Because gratitude is one of the highest vibrations that allows more ideas, more excitement, more clients, more momentum, more continuing to implement from a place of feeling amazing. When you are in gratitude, when you're excited, or you're just grateful for, what, I'm grateful that I have got fresh cold water here in my glass that I just got to go to the faucet and get. I didn't have to go down to a, store and buy bottled water, because I have fresh drinking water right here. So list about 5 different things that you're grateful for that you've accomplished. It could be a new lead. It could be a new client that you signed. It could be something that you did that's big or small. It doesn't matter. The importance is that we're in the energy of celebration. The energy of celebration is something that many of us skip. We're like, oh, it's not here yet. I can't celebrate yet. I actually said that when I was first building my business. I remember I was actually in a challenge, and it was called a 10K in 10 weeks challenge. And I remember I was in a Facebook group and I was celebrating. I'm like, oh, I got a client. And someone, one of the other coaches was like, hey, what are you going to do to celebrate? And I'm like, well, nothing yet. I didn't hit the goal yet. I didn't hit, 10K yet. It's not over. And I'm like, oh, wow. That was like an eye opener for me. You get to celebrate all your wins because it keeps you in motion. It keeps you in momentum. So time to celebrate. And then here's just a couple extra questions that you can ask yourself. Is there anything that you need to let go of to step into the most empowered version of you? So Andy, earlier you were like, oh, this is hard for me. Chances are there's something that you need to let go of to step into your most empowered version. So we just get to ask, oh gosh, what am I holding on to that's actually keeping me from being this empowered version of myself that I want to be? How might I just let that go? What would the future version of me that's already in Amazon energy, what would she do? And then you might want to write it down. Look, when we write things down, we use a different part of our brain, and it actually solidifies it more in our body. So writing out your I am statement from a place where you can see it and post it. I am calm, confident, and empowered six-figure coach. I attract clients with ease. I easily follow through with my inspired actions and build a business that brings me joy and impacts the world in positive ways. What would change for you if this was the story that was playing over and over again in your business? I would love to hear. Go ahead and come off mute. I'm just going to stop the share so I can see more of you. Go ahead and come off mute. How would this change? How might that change for you? Stephanie's like, our brain is so powerful. We just need to let it know how to help. It's so true. Marcia says, how can I join the Facebook group? Yeah, Marcia, I will definitely make sure that you have an invitation to join the Facebook group. We'd love to have you there. Yeah.
Hi, Christine. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Such an awesome training. Yes, it would definitely change the whole aspect of me, period, in my personal life and in my business life. So I appreciate this training.
You're very welcome. I want to ask everybody also, what is predictable to happen if you do this on a daily basis? What's predictable to happen if you do this on a daily basis? Even if you don't do the whole thing, even if you just are like, you know what, I'm waking up today and I'm going to choose what is the energy of abundance that I'm going to be in today? What are 3 actions that I'm going to take to help me build, nurture, and invite? What's predictable to happen?
You'll start to see evidence of it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty soon you'll have a 6-figure business. Monique says, gain more confidence, more connections with people. Absolutely. Yeah. Before I even hit 6 figures, I used my phone to support me with this. And I would put a reminder that went off every day and it would change every single month. So it started in January. January is a 10K month. And then in February, I would change January to February. February is a 10K month. March is a 10K month. You know, that went off every single day. And so my brain started believing, because our brain doesn't know what's true and what's not true, it starts looking and searching for evidence. And so guess what started happening? 10K months, because that is what I was focused on and because that is what was popping up on a daily basis. I have reminders that go off several times now. And sometimes I stop and read them and sometimes I don't because I'm human, but they go off. You know, I'm an abundant and empowered 7-figure wellness leader. That's one of mine. Have to run. Bye, Elle. Yeah. Over and over and over again. Yeah. So I would love to know what is popping up for you guys here. What is an aha? What is an insight? What is a takeaway that you're going to take away with you today from our training? Just one. It's going to allow you to solidify the information. Andy, what about you? What's one aha or insight you're taking away? You still with us? Teresa, what about you?
That I have been letting my negative thoughts run the show. And it's time to start rephrasing those things. And I love the step 5, write out 3 to 5 beliefs that will allow me to keep believing it, because I have been in that, seeing the evidence of my thoughts. So definitely step 5.
Awesome. Thank you. Stephanie.
I'm here. I'm just driving. Sorry.
Oh, okay, no problem.
My biggest takeaway, today is that I need to get into the energy, and I know this because I've been teaching this, but still reminding myself is the energy that I choose makes a huge difference. And then I have to do this every day. That is the key for me, being consistent.
Yeah, being consistent is key for sure. Yeah, we wouldn't, again, you know, back to the marathon example, we wouldn't expect anybody to run a marathon if they weren't training for it. This is mind training. It's training. We're building a muscle. Yeah.
For me, this is funny. It's step 7. It's like, oh, by the end of the day today, like today's not over. I could do anything. I can do it now. I could do it as soon as we get up to, like, you know, I just think, oh, that's Monday, that's this week, you know, and I, you know, when I had ideas for today, I'm like, well, but why can't I do those too?
Yeah.
In addition to the things that I was planning on doing. It's not like, you know, I can start them or I can, you know, but those aren't terribly hard things.
No, and see, that's the thing, right? We make up these stories that it has to be this big dramatic thing that we've got to do, otherwise it's not going to count. I guarantee you that when you do these 3 steps every single day, it will add up, and that consistency is what makes the difference. Yeah, totally. Yeah, our brain likes to create drama as well. Oh, it's not going to work. It's going to take too long, whatever, right? We just get to be consistent. And here's the other question that I want to ask all of you. How committed are you really? How committed are you really to making an impact in the lives of others and having a business, 6-figure business? Because nothing's going to change if you're not committed. You have to be committed. That doesn't mean perfect. It means committed. It doesn't mean perfect. It just means committed. And so if you are committed, you get to be, okay, what 3 things am I going to do before the end of the day? Can I commit to making people's lives different? Can I commit to sharing a solution that I have? Can I commit to making a bigger impact in the world with my services? If you can't commit, that's okay too. But that means that you probably need to look for a different type of business to build. Because being an entrepreneur requires you to commit. Being an entrepreneur requires you to commit over and over and over and over and over every single darn day. You can do anything you put your mind to, but you have to commit to it, right? Like if I'm ready to go outside for a walk, I have to commit to actually going to the walk. I'm going to commit that I'm going to go for a walk today. As a matter of fact, my husband and I are going for a walk at 2 o'clock. And he said, what time do you want to go for a walk today? I said, 2 o'clock. I'm committed to it. I had to commit first. Putting on the shoes and getting on my, you know, sweatpants and sweatshirt is going to come later, but I had to commit first. So you get to ask yourselves, how committed am I? All right, my friends, those of you that are still here, you've done yourself an incredible service to set yourself up for success in 2023. So excited that you're here. For those of you that are watching the replay, same thing. I will leave the replay up until midnight tomorrow night. And for those of you that want more support, I'm going to share with you that we do have a couple openings still left inside of Activate Abundance. We start next week. It is an amazing program. I teach you the Soulful Abundance System. Alignment is just number 1. We're also going to help you uncover who your ideal client is, what to price your programs and packages, how to attract, how to nurture, how to invite in a way that feels really good and authentic, how you can create a framework that you can share so that you become a standout leader in your field. And from now until midnight on the 31st, you can lock into the 2022 rate. Now, the rate has actually already been changed to the 2023 rate on the website, which is $14,000. It's actually a $20,000 program. But if you decide that you want to join us, you can save actually $4,000 because the 2022 rate when you joined us for the early bird rate was actually $10,000. So you can either join us at the $10,000 rate, which is pay in full, or you can make 12 payments of $917. Once that's over, it's over. Midnight comes and it stays up as a $14,000 paid in full investment or 12 payments of $1,222. You will not find this program lower ever, ever, ever again. So if you are ready to have support and you want to build a six-figure business in a way that feels really good and natural and aligned with who you are without having to convince or persuade anybody to work with you, this is the program for you. Go ahead and just either send me an email or you can reach out to me in direct messenger. I'll share the code with you. You will need a code. If you're not sure, but you want to ask me some questions, I'm happy to have a quick chat with you about that too. More than happy to answer your questions about whether this is a good fit for you or not. Remember earlier when I talked about inviting, this is your invitation. This is my invitation because I have a solution that I know is going to help you build a six-figure business. My intention is to share it with you. If you want it, but you still have some questions, I'm happy to make you an empowered decision. My intention is not to make sure that you're a yes. My intention is for you to get off the call with your questions answered so that you are either a confident and an empowered yes or a confident and empowered no. Either way is fine for me. What doesn't work is being in the land of maybe. Because when you're in the land of maybe, you're not doing anything. You're just spinning in confusion and you're not making any action. At least if you're a yes, you're going in a direction. And if you're a no, then you're also going in a direction. So if you want my support making a decision around Activate Abundance or working with me one-on-one, happy to share that with you. Happy to share the code with you if you decide that this is a good fit for you. And if not, I can at least understand a little bit more about where you are and help you get whatever it is that you do want. All right, my friends, I will see you inside the Facebook group. Don't forget to join, build a six-figure business for heart-centered female entrepreneurs. And I will see you guys there on the inside. Oh, one other thing I forgot to tell you. Next week on the 5th, we're going to do a Build Your Epic Year, Your Most Abundant Year 2023. So if you want to plan out 2023, then come join me. That is also a free event. And I will see you guys soon. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your holiday and have a happy new year.
Thank you.
You're welcome.